This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A referendum is being held over a Manitoba community's prospective partnership with mining company CO Silica. At stake is a profit-sharing deal with Broken Head Ojibwe Nation if the company's sand mining proposal is approved by the province. The CBC's Bartley Kivas reports.
An 8-day referendum is underway at Broken Head Ojibwe Nation, northeast of Winnipeg, over a proposed partnership with sand mining company CO Silica. The Alberta firm is offering 5% of its profits, which could work out to $20 million a year if the province ever approves CO's plan to drill thousands of wells across southeastern Manitoba.
This is the largest known deposit of high-purity quartz in the world, and the demand for it is growing. It's used in everything: cell phones, semiconductors, solar panels, medical equipment.
Manitoba's NDP government rejected CO Silica's first request for an environmental license last year, citing concerns about the effects on drinking water and geological stability underground. CO Silica plans to file a new license application within a week, now that a referendum is underway in Broken Head. In a statement, Broken Head Chief Gordon Bluesky said, "Historically, we have not benefited from any resource project or land use in our area, only impacted. This must end, and our community and our members must be part of the decision-making process." The drilling wouldn't take place on Broken Head land, but some band members opposed to the mining proposal are unhappy, noting they had less than 24 hours notice before the referendum started and that it will coincide with the community's annual treaty days, which are sponsored by CO Silica.
Considering the time sensitivity of it, we only have a very short window to vote, and considering that it is treaty days, we deserve an extension. We deserve to have a meeting with Chief and Council.
The referendum runs until August 8th. Taylor Galvin has started a petition to extend it. The NDP declined to comment on CO Silica's new license application or the referendum underway at Broken Head. Bartley Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says he is disappointed with Donald Trump's decision to raise tariffs to 35% on Canadian goods not covered by CUSMA. It comes after the two sides failed to reach a deal by midnight Thursday. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc says Ottawa is seeking the right deal for Canadians, not simply any deal.
I would expect to talk to Howard Lutnick next week. He and I agreed that we'd get together in the coming weeks. I know Ambassador Hillman is continuing to talk to counterparts in the American administration and on Capitol Hill. So the doors aren't closed, the doors are open, the conversations are ongoing.
The Trump administration cited Canada's retaliatory tariffs and a supposed failure to stem the flow of fentanyl over the border for the increase. This, even though Canada accounts for a very small percentage of drug seizures by the United States. Trump gave Mexico a 90-day extension of the current tariff regime. All of this has Manitoba's drug manufacturing industry on edge. The U.S. president floated the idea of substantial tariffs on pharmaceutical exports to the U.S. in early July. But as the CBC's Justin Fiacconi reports, the industry is still under a cloud of uncertainty.
The U.S. administration has promised more details about tariffs as high as 200% on pharmaceutical imports into the United States by the end of July. It's August 1st. And Canadian pharmaceutical companies are still in the dark. Early Friday morning, the U.S. president raised existing tariffs facing the Canadian economy by 10%, from 25% to 35%. Andrea Lattiser with the Bioscience Association of Manitoba says the overall impact varies among pharmaceutical companies based on a variety of factors. But if their costs increase, so will the price of medicine.
At the end of it, any increase in costs will be passed on to the consumer.
At this stage, the 200% tariffs on pharmaceuticals imported into the United States is not in place, though pharmaceutical manufacturers in Canada are currently in waiting mode.
We're getting a lot of phone calls from pharmaceutical industries. They're really waiting to see what's going to happen next. It has been a space of a lot of changes. The amount of the tariffs, the timing of the tariffs, are these products included or excluded, has been changing since the conversation started. So they're really waiting to see what will happen and how they need to react.
The pharmaceutical industry is a major part of Manitoba's economy. Ladouceur says it represents roughly 7% of provincial GDP and around 14,000 jobs. If the U.S. president follows through with tariffs on the industry as high as 200%, one expert suggests it could leave the fate of the industry in jeopardy.
If a 200% tariff were to be put into place, I think they would potentially have to reconsider whether it makes sense to manufacture in Canada.
This would leave a major hole in the Manitoba economy, but Bugden says there's no need to panic. Given the strength of Canada's regulatory drug price controls, as well as the roughly year-long grace period should those tariffs actually come into effect, Bugden says there's no need to be rushing to fill your prescriptions. Justin Fiacconi, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A former Manitoba municipal official has admitted to stealing over $500,000 while in office. Amber Fisher pleaded guilty today to theft over $5,000. Fisher was Chief Administrative Officer of the RM of Gilbert Plains from 2020 to 2022. A forensic accounting report found she transferred the municipality's money to her own bank account. Fisher admitted that she lied to her co-workers about the theft, then faked a cyber attack. She is expected to be sentenced next May. A Winnipeg couple experiencing homelessness is beginning a new chapter. They are moving into transitional housing with the hope of turning a page toward long-term addictions recovery. The CBC's Rosanna Hempel brings us their story.
Everything just looks lovely in here, too.
Caden McCron and his partner Anna Moore just got their new apartment after spending 2 months on the riverbank in a tent.
It's a lot more relaxing just to be here instead of being out in the camp where you're constantly, you don't know what could happen because anything happened.
They'd been bouncing from encampment to encampment for most of the summer since losing their home due to a relapse. Their homelessness was marked by attacks, sleepless nights, and long searches for food and water.
It's basically the Wild West.
Last week, a chance connection to St. Boniface Street Links landed them at the outreach organization's 24/7 safe space on St. Mary's Road. On Friday, they packed up for a fresh start. The couple found drug-free transitional housing at a facility on Fountain Street that Street Links launched last year.
I feel safer, and that's really all I wanted, was to get clean and be in a safe environment.
Building manager Ainsley Trudeau says they'll have access to counseling and recovery programs.
Here I'm happy to say that people come in, we help slowly, baby steps, show them how to be independent, you know, whether that's cooking on a budget, shopping on a budget, whatever the case may be.
Michelle Wesley with Street Links believes the community style of living in the community is part of what will make the model successful.
It's about how do I live without depending on a substance to help me move forward on a day-to-day basis. And it was extremely successful for me, and I feel that that's what Fountain is going to do for others.
Moore lived in this building years ago before it was renovated.
Even seeing her face when we moved up here, she's like, wow, it looks so much different already.
Seeing how it's changed is giving them hope they can too.
I'm just happy that we got a place.
Happy they have a chance to start over. Rosanna Hempel, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Another smoky day, really, right across the province with that air quality health index across the south and here in Winnipeg, at least between an 8 and a 10 plus. Let's get a first check on our forecast as we head into the long weekend with weather specialist Helena Mahalik.
It's going to be a very hot, long weekend for Manitoba. Let's take a look at some of our daytime highs. Temperatures were very hot up north, with many places getting over 30 degrees, like Lynn Lake with a daytime high of 33, and heat warnings are in effect for that area. For areas around Winnipeg, we're just seeing temperatures closer to seasonal, but many areas getting to the high 20s as well. Weather-wise, we're seeing very calm conditions this evening, just a bit of cloud cover, but very calm skies. Into Saturday, we're going to see widespread smoke continue throughout the whole day. In the morning, temperatures will be close to 20 degrees, and by the noon hour, jumping up to seasonal with just a calm wind. But by the afternoon, the winds are picking up, but so are our temperatures, with temperatures close to 30 degrees for the afternoon and wind gusts up to 40 kilometers an hour. And Riley, I'll have your full forecast coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Helena. Well, if you're looking for something to do this long weekend, the 136th edition of the Icelandic Festival of Manitoba is underway in Gimli. The theme for this year's festival is Woven Together, marking 150 years since the Icelanders first settled in Canada and the deep connection that remains between the two countries. Crowd favorites like the strongman competition and fashion show are back this year.
There's so many activities for family and friends to experience and enjoy, and the beauty is most of them are free because we have incredible sponsors, incredible volunteer base making this all happen.
Iceland's president is among those in town for the celebration this year. It wraps up Monday. Still ahead, remembering a loved one. One Winnipeg tattoo artist is taking memorials to the next level, how people who have lost a loved one can have that person with them forever. That story next. Well, losing a loved one is tough. It can be one of the hardest times in a person's life. Some people opt to get a tattoo to memorialize the person they lost. Well, now one Winnipeg tattoo artist is taking memorials to the next level, incorporating cremated ashes into the ink so people who have lost a loved one can have that person with them forever. The CBC's Mike Arsenault has the details.
A special tattoo for a sentimental reason. Sherilyn Lenton is getting an Egyptian scarab beetle tattoo to memorialize her mother, who passed away 7 years ago.
Her and I always bonded over Egypt. She loved all things Egypt. It was her dream vacation, and we'd sit for hours and watch documentaries.
Lenton's tattoo is more than just ink. This is a cremation tattoo, and her mother's cremated ashes were mixed into the ink. She's got other tattoos to honor her mother before, but this one is different.
A part of her is now part of me, and that's permanent, and it makes me feel like she's always there.
Carrie Parnell is the founder of Cremation Tattoos. After losing her grandmother a couple years ago, she came up with the idea after learning that early tattooing was done using wood ash.
First tattoo, cremation tattoo I did was on myself with my grandmother's ashes. And it was great because my family allowed me to use her ashes to learn and to bring to places and to experiment.
There are companies outside of Canada that make cremation ink, but you have to send the ashes away by mail. Parnell wanted to streamline the process and make it more personalized. She spoke with scientists and crematoriums and learned how to make the ink herself. She says the process has been therapeutic for her clients, like one who used to carry her late husband's ashes around with her.
She said, "I'm so grateful I don't have to physically carry him around anymore." And so I think my thing that I put on my cards is linked together forever.
Parnell's cremation tattoos have caught the attention of the palliative care sector in Manitoba. Dr. Bruce Martin wants to offer cremation tattoos as an option for people dealing with a loss.
There are now references in what we call peer-reviewed medical literature about the importance of memorialization through tattoos.
Martin says regular tattoos are therapeutic for many of his clients, and adding ashes makes it even more meaningful. Parnell says she'll be setting up a booth at a palliative care conference in September to let people know about her service.
It combines my three things that I love, which is art, spirit, and people. So it's just like the perfect recipe for exactly what I want to do.
For people like Lenton, who, thanks to her cremation tattoo, will have a piece of her mother with her forever. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, so Helena was talking about the hot temperatures we've seen in parts of the province earlier. We have seen a heat warning in place for part of the north, but of course we've had those air quality warnings in place for a good chunk of the south. Helena's back now with a look at our weekend forecast.
This long weekend, we'll see a lot of heat and smoke. There may be some rainfall to provide relief. Let's take a look at what's ahead. Friday, we're seeing mainly calm skies, but throughout the weekend, we're going to see some scattered showers throughout. Saturday, we're going to see that mainly up north, but into Sunday, we're going to see that move closer to Winnipeg for areas just north of the city. Into Monday, we're going to see mainly calm skies, just a chance of some showers in the southwest, right along the Saskatchewan border. And as in for our smoke, we are going to see that remain concentrated up north around Thompson. By Sunday, we may see some improvements, but smoke is going to continue moving between northern Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but areas around Winnipeg could see some improvement to air quality by Sunday. And in terms of our temperatures, Friday, many places were feeling quite warm, hovering close to 30 degrees. By Saturday, we're going to see sunny skies and temperatures will remain quite hot. Sunday, we'll see a little bit of a dip with temperatures returning back to seasonal, but it'll really be just for that one day because by Monday, temperatures are jumping right back up to the high 20s, again close to that 30-degree mark. As for Friday night in the south, we're seeing mainly clear skies, and our overnight lows are going to be a few degrees above seasonal, especially for places like Winnipeg. And up north, we're feeling even warmer where those heat warnings are, like Thompson, with overnight lows close to 20 degrees. In the far north, like Churchill, we are going to see a chance of some rainfall, and temperatures will be feeling a little bit cooler there, just above that 10-degree mark. As we look ahead to Saturday, we're seeing a mix of sun and cloud up north and that chance of rainfall, but temperatures are still going to be quite hot, close to the 30-degree mark. The far north, though, a little cooler with temperatures in the high teens. As for areas around Manitoba Saturday, we are going to see the sun out all throughout the province, and there will be temperatures close to that 30-degree mark. We're not getting as hot as up north. Some areas are still going to be close to seasonal, like Steinbeck with 26 degrees, but many areas like Brandon are going to be close to that 30-degree mark. And Riley, I'll have your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Helena. It was a summer vacation to the Canadian prairies, but a Texas teen is going to return to school this fall with a dynamite story that might seem unbelievable to some, and it all comes as a delight to fossil hunters. Bryce Hoy brings us more.
Researchers are peeling back the curtain on an ancient mystery. A prehistoric reptile hunted in waters right above this soil, its bones and teeth seeing the light of day for the first time in 80 million years, all thanks to a teen from Texas.
What's the latest, paleontologists?
More jaw. It's a jaw from a mosasaur. 14-year-old Walter Campbell found it.
Well, the mystery deepens.
And he's like, I think that might be a mosasaur skull. And I was really surprised by that.
During summer break, Walter came from Texas with his family to visit his grandpa in Morden. Dave Stobie bought 2 fossil dig passes to the Canadian Fossil Discovery Centre. He thought Walter would pick his mom or dad to go along.
He picked me. And I got to confess, I had a bit of a bad attitude because here we are outdoors on my knees digging in the dirt, hot weather, but he wanted me to come. And I'll tell you, it was an amazing day.
Listen, I just had a feeling about this spot.
One of Jerry Peters' jobs is to scout out bone beds like this.
We got skull here. We have another piece over there with the tooth still intact.
A lifelong fossil hunter, Peters found his first mosasaur bone when he was 8 in the 1970s. Call it luck or instinct, he pointed Walter to his first mosasaur bone.
I love watching kids when they find a fossil, they're taking it out of the ground. You can just see their eyes are lighting up.
Bruno Costa is a PhD student at the University of Manitoba. He's studying rocks and fossils, getting a handle on what life was like for the many marine dinosaurs, birds, sharks, fish, turtles, and other creatures that lived in this ancient ecosystem.
Picture basically a full-on ocean of probably more than 300 feet in depth for sure at this time in this particular locality. That's where Walter the mosasaur was living in.
That's right. The mosasaur, still being pieced together, has been named Walt.
We always name informal name every specimen, and obviously this is going to be Walt, our new mosasaur.
A nickname Grandpa Dave blurted out to the fossil team at the moment of discovery.
Now I actually have proof to all of the people at school that I dug up this mosasaur because it was named after me.
A special experience that he and his grandpa will always look back on fondly. Bryce Hoy, CBC News, Morden, Manitoba.
Very cool. Well, coming up, wildfires and evacuations aren't getting in the way of a summertime celebration. How evacuees from some First Nations are still able to take part in their annual summer games despite being far away from homes. Usually around this time of year, many First Nations would be holding their annual summer games. But with many still out of their homes due to wildfires, the events look a bit different this year. Today saw the kickoff of the Evacuee Games in Winnipeg. Matt Humphrey has more.
Smoke and fire won't stand in the way of a summertime celebration.
It's a kind of a customary tradition that we do in our community and numerous other communities. They do their own thing annually, so they host games, bring the community together, and have some fun, and win a little bit of honorarium.
Over 4 days, participants from across the province, all evacuees, will take part in friendly competition. The first day is canoe races. Over the weekend, things like balloon races and square dancing, but it all starts with the archery. Tatasqueyak Cree Nation evacuee Errol Monroe says it's about bringing evacuees together.
People think it's a vacation. It's not, trust me. Being cooped up in a hotel for months, it ain't fun.
Like thousands of others, Monroe was forced from his home and spent 4 weeks in Niagara Falls before being moved to Winnipeg. He's trying to stay in touch with people scattered across Manitoba.
The chief and council shoot off their arrows and everyone waits behind them until...
Manitoba Keewatin Okamakinak Emergency Coordinator Caitlin Brightnose helped organize the weekend along with her mother. She says the tournament's a nice distraction.
They're not used to city life. They're not used to staying in a hotel for extended periods of time.
After all the arrows are collected, it's on to the next event, a canoe race along the Red River. Matt Humphrey, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Well, it was a hot day, but tomorrow is going to be even hotter. Let's take a look at the forecast for the city of Winnipeg. Saturday, we're going to see the sun out and temperatures close to 30 degrees. By Sunday, we're seeing a return to seasonal, and Monday, temperatures climbing up a bit again. Although the sun is out all throughout the week, Tuesday through Friday, we are seeing a chance of some showers, but throughout those thunderstorms, we are seeing temperatures climbing up close to 30 degrees, and our overnight lows will be at 19 degrees. Close to 20, and we're just seeing that rain last for those 3-day period. By Friday, that rain is going to stop, the sun is going to come back out, and our temperatures to end the week are going to be close to 30 degrees. So Riley, if you're heading out, definitely make sure to wear some sunscreen because it's going to be hot.
Thanks, Selena. And make sure to also be mindful of the air quality with the smoke and the haze that we've seen across the province throughout the weekend. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. Hope you have a wonderful long weekend, and we'll see you again on Tuesday. Have a great night.